have made it thus far in the studio. Dr. Anaba and Dr. Boachi Dankwa, good morning to your trust at all as well.
Very good morning to you. I'm very well, thank you. A bit troubled about this country, but I'm sure that we will have opportunities to talk about it some more. We just need to start thinking about the future of this country in all of our political leadership and our political conversation. But I'm happy to be here this morning.
Always a pleasure to have you. I'll come to you again as to why there's a lot of trouble. But Dr. Anaba, trust at all as well.
Good morning to our cherished listeners and viewers. Let's all come out. Those who are still in their homes, come out and support your district assemblies so that at least
we clean up.
Get Accra clean to minimize the effect of the floods. Yeah.
Look, there's been a lot of questions asked about the last time we had the bill. On Facebook, people have been asking.
My bill.
Yes, they want to see the.
Yes. I'll send it to you.
So
I'll send it to you.
I remember Dr. Anaba also asking to see it as well, and so.
I'll send it.
But you say you are troubled about the country.
So, Mawuena, you see, what does your name mean?
It's God's gift.
God's gift.
Yeah, my name means God's gift.
I'm glad your name means God's gift. It clearly means that we have a gift of leadership, okay, and also have an opportunity to transform people's lives. Over and over again, we have realized that people have leadership opportunities where they don't think about people. People have ceased being human beings.
Where is this coming from?
It's coming from a deep thought of reflection and a sobriety of heart that needs good transformation over and over again for this country. We cannot keep doing things the old way and expect to have significant results. The government has said that we should clean today. Did the government talk to the meteo to look at the weather? It's raining.
In some parts.
Of course, absolutely. Did the government consider that they have to come into a negotiation with the citizens and plead with the conscience of the citizens and not to have that as a command and obey situation where a sector minister will state that if you don't clean, the police will be on the road, the military will be on the road, the prisons will be on the road? Why won't the government give us a holiday? If the government is very serious about meeting the needs of cleaning. Of course, it's our civic responsibility to ensure that our environment and our society is clean. I think about John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, every single day, and the honors task that he has on himself. We are 1 month short of these two important people that died. Murtala Mohammed, may he so rest in peace. Dr. Manebuama, the president has not given us a replacement for that. His own representatives are these sector ministries. The president hasn't given that to us. And this president is one, my big brother, how are you?
This president just walked in.
This president is one of the most experienced public officers in this country, in this Fourth Republic. Why would you leave two ministries vacant, regardless of caretaker ministries that you have put there? And you are aware that these caretaker ministers are overwhelmed with their own ministries that they are taking care of. I don't know. It gives me cause for concern for a country that we are supposed to be living in into the future. I'm a young person. I'm not dying now, by God's grace. If God gives me an extra 50 years, I'll be in my 90s in this country. So why can't we do things in a way that would make all of us, live in a harmonious environment and be human beings, at least for once?
Right.
Are you sure this? I don't know what he ate this morning and came here. He has started.
I
haven't eaten. In fact, today I am fasting.
What has the president or this government done so far? Besides the appointment of two ministers that he's complaining, that he thinks we are not treating Ghanaians.
Well, he says that the cleanup exercise, you didn't check the weather and you are deciding to impose it on Ghanaians.
They have not imposed
it's one
Ghanaians.
Of the many things.
The government is calling for people to come to let's help ourselves. The cleaning is for the benefit of all of us. In Europe, it snows, they work. It rains, they work. We are very lazy people here. When it rains, no one moves out. You go to offices, no one is there.
Is it not because of the flooding
No,
situation?
it's not the flooding. Even before the flood, go to an office and it's raining. 12 o'clock, you go there, you don't meet people. Abroad, look, it rains, no. People go to work. And those are the people who work and bring a surplus in Africa. If you are getting flood, which is carrying you away, and it is drizzling, and somebody says, let's come and pick all the pecks that are blocking the gutters to allow the water to seep and free us from drowning. What is wrong with it? Even if Metro had told them that it would drizzle, and we still want to clean to prevent the flood in the country, is it not better getting the rainwater on us than being flooded by rainwater and disposed water? I think it's better. So to say that, oh, the government didn't look at Metro and all that, it is not raining, it's not raining snow, it's not raining cat and dogs, it's just drizzling. And even our farmers, some of them are in the farms farming with the rain. So what is the problem? So let's not use this one to chastise the government. I think the benefit of we cleaning our city under drizzle is better than lying in our homes and being flooded and taken away by, excuse me for a better word, poo-poo water. Because all the flood water contains fecal matter, which very soon, if we don't take time, like they are putting in measures, if we don't take the good measures, we'll get serious outbreak of diseases. Some have died out of the flood, and some will die out of infection. So to me, calling Ghanaians to sacrifice and come out today, whether we've cleared it a holiday or not, if you don't go to work and say you were at the place cleaning, no one is going to disturb you because they know that the government has access to go and clean. So to me, government is taking care of the situation seriously. You see, what is surprising is how MPP people are even calling for the Attorney General to even be removed because he allowed government to take money to rescue flood victims. That the account has been garnished. The account of the how do they call it, the Garrett was not garnished, but they spent only 11 million out of the 100 and something into solving flooding problem, and no one said anything. And no one has seen monies under people's beds, and they has kept quiet. So let's not be running trying to chastise a government, trying to find, excuse my word, flimsy excuses to attack government. That this person must be dismissed because he allowed money to be moved. He allowed money to be moved to save Ghanaians. If even the account was even being garnished by somebody, and there is life and death, and we think we can find money elsewhere to pay him, we can use the money. What is the problem? It's not our money. It's our money. We have used monies in this country carelessly to dig a pit, a very big pit to breed mosquitoes. Parliament is flooded with mosquitoes all the time. We may be getting malaria even because of that pit. And no one said anything. People who have used this country's money carelessly, recklessly, are enjoying their lives elsewhere out of this country. They are even fighting for those who have been accused of fraud to be able to travel out of this country. When some have traveled legally and they are not coming back, why are they not complaining that somebody is traveling out, he has spent money, and they are taking him to court? They should allow him to stay in the country mandatorily, but they are rather fighting for his freedom, human rights. We the rest who have been affected by the money he has spent carelessly, we don't have human rights.
Right.
So to me, this excuse trying to bring government in that, oh, government does not coordinate this, government that is not working well, we are young people. Look, we are the people who are the cause. Let's all sit up. Let's all sit up and contribute. When we go out from here, I beg him, we'll go and pick some wood from the gutters to unlock it so that water can flow, and then people don't get flooded in Accra.
Right. Mr. Codjoe, good morning to you. It's been a while.
You have to pay for it.
I trust that all is well with you as well.
God has been so merciful. And very good morning to my senior brother and my good friend, Dr. Bakri. Indeed, I need a mic. Once it is your own, I don't need to borrow or buy it. Do I? All right. Greetings to our cherished listeners. It's been a while I've been here.
Yes.
So other considerations took me away. In fact, the president declaring the 2-day cleaning exercise to me is much ado about nothing. Honestly, after the 2 days, what happens? It's a cultural issue. And we as Ghanaians are not disciplined when it comes to keeping our environment clean. I don't think this should be a political issue at all, because it could have been any president on the seat given the flood we had. And I always maintain that even though the flood is a form of a disaster, it's a policy issue. It's because we have failed consistently to do the necessary arrangements to protect ourselves. And so far as to say that there's no any cleanest city in Ghana today. Even if you go to the rich neighborhood, you see open gutters. Nobody cares about anybody. It's like government must do these things for us. And I think we have to go back to the old days of the Rollins. When I say the old days of the Rollins, not military rule, but where we have these sanitary inspectors who were in communal spirit, where we set this aside to clean our environment. I think that we are also not doing well in our rubbish and garbage collections, because we have monopolized this thing to just one single company, the Zoom Lion. And you know, when there are challenges, you see that they also fold up, and you see rubbish. I mean, they had
their contracts. One came to an end; it's not been renewed.
I think they are validating and auditing what has gone on over the period with accusations upon counter accusation. And this journalist, Manasa Azuri, has been on the neck of Zoom's Lion for a very long time.
No counter accusation, they are facts.
And I think that government should build the capacity of other companies and diversify our refuge collections. And you see, we still do things the traditional way. Look at the pure water we drink, the waste, where does it end up? We don't have factories that recycle some of these things. We just push them to landfill site and thinking that they'll disappear by an act of God. And that will not happen. If you go to other countries, they are recycling these products and using it for other byproducts. So we are not being responsible as citizens. The government is also showing leadership by policy, and thirdly, we don't prioritize how we collect, manage, and dispose of our refuse and garbages. So the 2 days exercise, when we clean, we clap for ourselves, and we go back to sleep. I guarantee you 3 days, the whole place will be littered. So what the president should have rather been doing is to see how we can sustain this over a period and not make it a national fanfare. And I can guarantee you that today many people will not come to work. That the president have directed that all shops should be closed, everybody should be involved.
Up until a point, I think we've seen a number of messages, banks and all that saying they open the shops at 1.
You know Ghana, my brother. People will take it as a holiday. And more often than not, in this country, we have too many holidays, and we don't calculate the economic effect to the state. How much revenue as a state we lose in a single day? We don't seem to appreciate some of these things. So to me, it is a Ghanaian problem. Let's unite, ask ourselves, are we happy about our environment? You can keep your yard clean, but when you step out and go to other places and the place is filthy, you inhale that same filth. So let's us together collectively say that enough is enough, and see how we can collect, process, and recycle these things. Then we don't get the kind of flooding we get. Look, the flooding that happened, the truth of the matter is that if our gutters were not choked, if we didn't build on waterways, if we didn't fill our wetlands that absorb this water and channel it into the sea, I guarantee you we wouldn't have had flooding. And I say this because you see that after 5-6 hours of the flooding, water was able to go because state authorities began to look at the fault lines and distilled those fault lines, and the water got its way to go. So this disaster more or less was self-imposed. And I think as a country, let's do away with politics on this matter. It's an environmental issue that affects everybody. Because the victims, can you even distinguish who was party A or who was party B? So the president should move beyond this kind of populist approach where it will give arsenal to party communicators to say that he's a caring president. When this thing happened, he declared 2 days. We're able to clean our country. I think those populist stance don't help us. And you see that even after the flood, it became a debate between who was compassionate and who was not. When one was in the air surveying to see the effect of the flooding, so that probably planning can go into alleviating it. The other was on the ground. Then it became a political banter. I think as a country, we can celebrate this mediocrity. We have far, far, far above some of these cheap politics we do.
Which of them? The one walking in the mud?
He's talking about the politicization
I'm talking about the politicization of it.
Right.
We are far beyond that. These are not issues as a country we should even be talking about.
Sure.
What does someone be in the air and someone on the boot got to do? And at the end of the day, relief items they give to these people, mattresses. What is mattress going to do to a victim whose house has been flooded, has lost everything? You understand? And we are not looking at the security aspect of it, Mawuena. Many local businesses are off now because of the flooding. People otherwise they were working in these companies are home. So you have to think, in the next 3, 4, even a year, what are they going to feed on? And already we are grappling with youth unemployment in this country. So as a country, please, let's stop celebrating mediocrity and look at how these things we should ordinarily be doing don't get national headlines. Internationally, I don't think that we are not serious as a people.
Right.
Ghanaians are very serious people.
I'm just going to follow through on this briefly a bit more in terms of the waste management, because today we are collecting a lot of waste. Where is it going? The landfill sites, we don't have enough. And we are collecting more, a lot more waste will be produced. The look ahead, we haven't heard a lot from government on that front as to going beyond today, what we are doing to effectively manage and handle waste in the country and the capital, to be specific, where a lot of this happens. That appears to be missing in terms of all of the conversations which has characterized the post-flood mitigation and all of that. Because yes, we can take away the buildings on waterways and all of that, but one of the major things is the waste which is clogging our drains as well. Let me start with you, Doc, and then I'll come to Doc, and then
This government has no plan. That's the truth. I don't see any major plan that this government has, to be honest, because like you said, Mawuena, we sit in this country, and I've always stated that the policy arm of the country, which is the government of the day, every single subsequent government, is the National Development Planning Commission. They have the game plan of how to make sure that this country works and works well with a clear policy decision. When a government says you should go and clean, and the government does not prepare adequately where you will send these garbages that you are going to get. Like I said, it's drizzling, it's raining. When I was coming, I saw people already picking things from the side of the road. Accra girls were already on the streets. They didn't even have these PPEs that you would ordinarily see that people are wearing gloves and having their Wellington boots on, having their nose mask on. You didn't see any of that. So how prepared really is this government? Today is the 10th, I suppose. Today is the 10th of July. This issue happened 29th, 30th of June. That's when we had this major flooding. The government has had time to be able to sit, to be able to decide what processes and what plans. I would call on His Excellency, Mr. President, please sit with the National Development Planning Commission. Get a plan for the regions of this country. See how we can reposition certain industries. Mawuena, I don't know whether you have been told that Belakwa has built on the waterway.
There's been a number of companies, which
built on the waterway
in the aftermath. But I can't confirm that.
Well, I'm telling you, it's on record. Belakwa has built on the waterway in Tema. The Dreamers Manufacturing Company that lost all of their drinks and everything
which was floating on
all
the
warehouse. Okay, has also stated that there are a number of factories that has been built on the waterway. So why are we doing this to ourselves as a people? We have stated that the plan for Greater Accra, Lakeside, is supposed to be a residue of water, but people have gone to build there. Ramsia site, even Chado is a farm, a sugarcane plantation many years ago. Today people have gone to encroach on it. Achimota as well. So you see how we have overly populated this region is not the thinking of what is on paper. In the 1957, Accra's population was less than 100,000, in the thousands. Today is 9 million people. 9 million people. And of course, Africa is going to be the market of the world in less than 20 years to come. Ghana is located in Africa. So, and Ghana is a significant player, really, in the ecosystem of the sub-region of West Africa. The threats of security are so high, which is why, for me, declaring a 2-day cleaning exercise is not a solution to the problem.
But nobody said it's a solution. It's just a part of the process in helping to... Not a stopgap measure. It's to aid the process. That's a fair argument.
Mawuena, look, we have state institutions, we have para agencies that is mandated to be able to do a lot of these things. Of course, you might want to instill some culture in the Ghanaian people, and you are aware that I don't know which of the leaders, but we used to have cleaning exercises the last Saturday of every month. Okay,
we've had that for some time,
and I think that still works. Do you get what I'm saying? This is a major disaster that needs constructive sitting down to ensure that you have a clear policy direction to be able to solve these issues.
The post-flood mitigation efforts, which is being led by the military, is not good enough.
It's a good way to start. That I commend. I mean, clearly, I've stated on other platforms that the Standobe-led flooding committee failed. Of course, it failed. And the president could not help but his darling boy failed in making sure that the leadership responsibility that has been given to him by the president as the deputy chief of staff in charge of operations to see to it, he couldn't do it. There were 6 guidelines that he was told to make sure that he couldn't, even on the day of the flooding. Their jobs had not been taken away from them. Even on the day of the flooding, that flooding committee that was set up, their jobs had not been taken away from them. But yet still he was handicapped. But I'm glad that the president has brought in the military. But the president should have done this long ago, which is why I said Mr. Mahama has the honors responsibility. He's been the longest serving public servant in this country. So he should know it. That these things, 48 engineers, we know 48 engineers from the olden days. In fact, in the northern part of this country, because of the threats of terrorism, if you are constructing boreholes, if you are constructing road bridges, you use the 48 engineers in their military uniform so that they can scare off these terrorists. Those are the things that we do, and everybody is aware of that. So this should have been the thinking of Mr. Mahama. This should have been his thinking, rather than bringing this Standobe committee that failed from the very beginning of it, which is why I say that this government doesn't seem to have a plan. Because if you have a plan, you will not expose your citizens to these risks. No PPEs have been provided. no nose mask, no walleting boots. School children on the day that they must be in class studying.